Welcome back, my friends, for the continuation of our reunion in the house of Socrates' old friend, Mr. Cephalus. Remember that? They have gathered Cephalus' son, Polemarchus, Mr. P, and Thrasymachus, the little rascal speech teacher, who was a sophist, and that meant he got paid for his words. Contrary to Socrates, Socrates decided no one is going to pay me a penny, because if they do, they are going to want to manipulate my speech. And I don't want to lose my freedom of speech and my liberty to think as I wish. So he never charged. He was very fortunate because he was always sponsored by a good friend, a couple of students. By the way, he did get married twice. The first wife, after a couple of little children, said, "Hey, listen, I'm out of here. You're on your own." Years later, he did get married again. So somehow we do hear in some of the dialogues that Socrates had young children and older children. Anyway, we left. Thrasymachus pretty much said, I'm leaving. And so, well, he didn't say it. He got up and went to most likely pour a glass of wine. Everything was available: fruits, vegetables, nuts and olives and wine. And it was a party. So at that point, Adeimantus, who happens to be Adeimantus and Glaucon were Plato's brothers. And they were friends with Thrasymachus. That's what I was a little bit confused. Yeah, they were friends. So Adeimantus said, I want to continue with Thrasymachus' points. Yeah, he said, might is right. And you pointed out a few weaknesses. I kind of agree with you. Well, and but Socrates is going to affirm that the life of the just is better than the life of the unjust. And for that, we need to find honorable people. What does the captain do when the ship begins to sink? He needs to make sure that all his tripulation gets in the floating boats so they can be safe. And who is the last person to jump in one of those? If time allows it, the captain himself. And so we play a role and we develop something that is known as social responsibility. Have you ever stepped out of your way to actually call the city and make a phone call and say, there is water running all over in such street? And when you come back and drive around, you notice that no more water is running. They heard you and they stopped the water from being wasted. That is known as social responsibility. Don't ever let you stop it. If you have the idea, have the action become a reality. Yes, highly recommended. Well, after that, Glaucon is going to actually say, hey, Socrates, I am going to tell you about the origin of justice. First of all, let's imagine a scene during the cavemen. And so there is a tribe on this side, there is a tribe on that side, and there is the big beast that walks around, and that's the source of food for these people. So one of the tribes decides, I gotta catch it. So he sharpens his big stone, the edge of stone, let's say, stool, knife, and goes after this beast. And then someone from the other tribe who had the same idea says, hey, hold it, that's mine. What do you mean it's mine? No, it's mine. Get out of my way. And one of them decides, hey, let's deal with this issue. If we catch that gorgeous beast before he runs away from us, we both can be actually participants of what we catch. Half and half, buddy. I don't know. Listen, it's running away. Let's get with it. Fine, okay. And so, according to Glaucon, brother of Plato, these two tribes get into agreement because it's of beneficial to both of them. They both are going to profit from such a choice. And so that is the origin of justice. Basically, I help you and you help me. And that's how they do it. And so, mano a mano, I help you and you help me. And so, almost as if Glaucon says, these people were actually afraid of each other. That's why they decided to work on respect. Imagine that. But then he says, but I have another story to tell you. Apparently, in one occasion, there was a horrible earthquake, a big gap was opening in the ground, and someone actually walked down there. It had become a huge cave, and found a horse made out of bronze, huge horse with a door. And this person walked in, stumbled against something, and realized after he kind of tapped a couple of times, hey, are you okay? No, it was an inert body. Someone was there, but wasn't moving. And so he decided to start moving one hand, and then move the other hand, and then move this one again, and notice that in the process of moving it, something shined. He said, oh, wait a minute, what is it? And so took away the ring from that character, and he said, looks like this is it for me. I am happy, looks like a good one. Mwah. Bye. The guy was a shepherd, by the way, and he needs to go and find his shepherd friends, reunite, and talk about their business of taking care of these sheep. And so he catches up with them, and they said, hey, come over here, we're going to play a game of cards. And so they start playing, and this character is just thinking, wow, that was fascinating, that cave, that horse, the door, I walked in, that guy, which I suppose was dead, I didn't take the time to see if that was the case, or even if I could do something about him. He's totally preoccupied. And in the process, he moves the ring back and forth. And while he does that, one of his friends says, what's with him? He just came to play, I didn't see him very happy, and now he just left. And he says, no, I'm here. No, can't you see me? I'm here. And so he gets nervous, pushes her back again. Hey, come on, don't leave. We need you in this play of the four of us. Oh, okay. So before you know, he realizes that he actually owns a magic ring. So guess what he did? He went to the next county, managed to get involved with the queen. Between the two of them, they managed to kill the king, and he becomes the king. Just like that, because he was using his invisible powers. Yeah. And so, why not? And let's think about it. If we had such ring and we could do anything we wanted, and no one ever will know if we did right or wrong, what would be the temptation? Don't tell me. Just think about it. The temptation is definitely big. Then he says, because he has three arguments: the origin of justice, the story of the magic ring, and now he's going to say, because after 600 years of the influence of Homer's mythology, the Iliad and the Odyssey, and all of these gods, he says, and then if you happen to misbehave, get away with whatever you want, and you feel like you're beginning to lose, hey, just offer a few sacrifices to the gods, and they will forgive you. And so, no big deal. That's what it is. And then Socrates says, listen, buddy, let's change the page. If we have a sign that says justice in tiny little letters way down there, and then we have the word justice, huge sign over here, which one is going to be we are going to read first? Well, of course, the first sign we are going to read is going to definitely be the sign with the big letters. In other words, let's talk not about justice for the individual, but justice for the state. Oh, but since we are in a party, this is fiesta time, let's have a little break. Come on, let me have that bowl of olives and that wonderful cheese, and that piece of lovely bread. Oh, these olives, the best ever. Anyway, and they all laugh, and because they are in Mr. Cephalus' house, having this wonderful time. And Socrates is kind of getting like, yeah, this is what I like to do. Chat and do some convincing points in here. And so let's then put some kind of a state together. We are going to walk away from the micro world to the macro world, all right? And so we're not going to worry about the individual, we're going to worry about individuals, a whole society. And so in a society, we need to be self-sufficient. Some of us would like to live way out there in the middle of nowhere with these lovely hills and flowers and wild animals on one side, my lovely little home, flowers, what have you. But if I run out of something, oh my God, who's going to go and buy this? An hour and a half, 2 hours drive. The kid got sick. We got to take him to the emergency. How are we going to do this? So some of us have to be extremely self-sufficient to choose to live away from the society, because there is always the pharmacy, and let's now talk about Socrates' environment. There is the butcher, there is the baker, there is the shoemaker, there is the guy that makes figurines out of metal, and the farmer that deals with the small little creatures, and then the farmer that deals with the bigger cows and all of that kind of stuff. And so we need to learn to support each other and to respect each other's role, most definitely. And so we can make sure that we don't run our food, we have running water, we have a stable society, and Glaucon, who hasn't said much after Adeimantus took over, said, wait a minute, Socrates. Literally, he told Socrates, you are creating a society for pigs. What do you mean for pigs? All you are putting together is things and things and things. What about the spirit? What about the poet? And the sculpturist? Come on. And Socrates says, oh, yeah, I suppose you're right. Let's take care of the spirit. And I'm sure you want to also make sure that there is a lovely tavern, a lovely place to eat, musicians that we can hear, painters. Oh, and of course, if we go to the tavern and we are indulging all of this wonderful food and we get sick, we need a doctor. So now we actually, you're right, you made a point. We need to make sure that we want to watch what we have in the community, and because I'm sure people are going to indulge, without a doubt. I mean, what do we do nowadays? The hamburger and the fries and the wonderful drink, and one of those that I can fill up as many times as long as I am sitting in that restaurant. And so, yeah, because I ate too much. And so after that, I gotta run somewhere and find some medicine to take care of me. And so anyway, we're gonna have to then definitely, Glaucon, take care of essentials and take care of the soul, because you're absolutely right. It's mind and body. I have to tell you a little joke. One time they asked Einstein, what's the difference between mind and body? What's the difference between mind and matter? The word is matter, mind and matter. And he said, never mind, it doesn't matter. Well, I kind of ruined the joke. Anyway, well, apparently with that kind of a society, where everybody has something to offer and something to obtain by going to fun places, the theater, and so places in Greece in those days, it was very, very popular. They're wonderful writers of those days, funny Aristophanes and Euripides, and all of these characters with wonderful imaginations, and people entertained themselves. And so he said, most likely our city is going to grow and grow and grow. And what are we going to do if it continues growing and growing and growing? Well, we're going to have to make sure we can expand it so long, because we're going to need hospitals, and we're going to need schools and government housing. Yeah, well, we just may have to start taking part of the neighbor's land. But by taking part of the neighbor's land, they are likely to defend themselves, because perhaps they are even ahead of us, and they know what an excellent state we are creating, and they want to confiscate our land. So we're going to have to actually, this is the moment to create an army. Yes, we're going to have warriors, because we have to protect ourselves. What do you mean, warriors? Yeah, and they're going to have to be educated. Educated explain that to us. What do you mean educated? Well, first of all, we're going to have to find warriors who are like the most wonderful, loyal dog, okay? Loyal dogs protect their owners. And when someone strange comes, they continue protecting the owner, and God bless that person that is coming to intrude in my space, because my dog is going to defend me. And so, with that in mind, we want these guardians to have qualities of a well-bred dog. But also, imagine this. We want them to have temperance and character. What do you mean temperance? They will have to know where and when and why and for how long to attack. They're going to have to measure the strength, and they have to know what are their abilities and not exceed. In other words, no excesses, no deficiency. And for that, we are going to start educating children with potential guidance towards the guardian class. And for that, all the little children are going to listen to nothing but clean and applicable little stories. No fear, no trembling, no, oh my God, protect me, I'm afraid. Afraid of even going to sleep, says the little child. So we're going to be very careful with that. Imagine what the story of Hansel and Gretel does to little children. So there's a father who loses his wife and already has two little children, a boy and a girl. And of course, to make his life easy, he looks for a woman to take care of his kids and marries her. The woman is happy to get married, but she doesn't want to take care of little children. So before you know, she invites them to go on a picnic. And the little children go. Hansel realizes that something is not right, because things are not in the right place. And so as they're going out of the house, he grabbed a piece of bread, and as they walk, they decided to start throwing the little pieces of bread through all the little trail as far as they're going. And when they get to a place, the woman actually gets lost, hides from them. And when the little children are kind of like, where is she? Where is she? Oh my God, we are by ourselves. Hansel grabs little Gretel and says, don't worry, little sister. You and I are going to spend the night right here. I'll take care of you. So the little children embrace and certainly spend the night. The next day, nice and clear, they manage to get home. Nobody says a word. Well, the woman decides, this time, I'm going to do it a lot faster. And so Hansel realizes what's happening. They're on the way out. He just grabs a bunch of little pebbles and drops them. Oh, I'm forgetting one important line. When they are going back, he realizes that there are no crumbs of bread, because as he was dropping them, the birds were eating them. Happy birds. So now the woman is going to take them to some little old house where she has, and this is the dreadful part about the story, one big pot, and she's going to cook little Hansel, and she's not cooking little Hansel. She just put Hansel in a cage so he can get fat. and is making the little girl clean the little house. And what Hansel does, he let me see if you're gaining any weight. And the woman touches his little arms, and he shows a little piece of a bone. Come on, eat, eat. And so, because she's going to eat him up. Since when do we eat little children? Please. So anyway, time goes by, and Hansel manages to get out of the cage and goes to the little sister and says, run, little sister, and I'll run behind you. She'll run behind me, and at the right time, we'll dump her in the boiling pot. They begin to run like crazy, and at the right time, boom, they dump the women. And then Hansel says, let's get out of here. And the little girl said, no, wait. I found this little box full of jewels. We'll bring it. Let's go to Dad's. So they run, and they get to Father's. And when they get there, and they say, Dad, I found this. And so Father decides to congratulate them and to live happily ever after with what the kids had found. But they didn't find it. They stole it. They managed to commit a crime. The birds deceive the little children. The woman is an evil character. The father is selfish. So what's so good about the story? Nothing is good about the story. So stories like that definitely terrified little children. And so we want to make sure, said Socrates, that in our community, little children are going to listen to nothing but clean, proper, and growth-producing. Plato was very fond of allegories and metaphors, and so they will always have to be clean and proper. And so that's how little children are going to develop this character full of temperance, the right thing in the right place at the right time for the right reason. And so, with that in mind, it's been a pleasure being with you. I can hardly wait to be with you as we continue dining and having fun and this lovely gathering with our Greek friends. Bye-bye.